Hello, 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 everyone. I'm Kirsten with Six Figure Business Coaching, and that's Jeannie, my lovely business partner.
Today, we're so excited to have Emily Bouquet here. She is a producer, director, and editor of webinars and video podcasts. She helps online entrepreneurs and coaches to produce their video podcasts and repurpose their amazing content on more than one platform. So thank you, Emily, for being here today. And she's going to be talking about the 5 best content types for repurposing.
Yeah,
something that we can all use.
We love repurposing, so we're excited to hear all the different ways you have. You've been doing full production podcasts for your clients for several years now.
Yes, we've been doing the production of webinars for 16 years, but in the last 6, we've been doing podcasts, video podcasts.
That's fantastic. And you're perfect for the people who really just need full service.
Yeah, and video podcasting has become so popular. When they get into a podcast, they get devoted to it and they start telling other people about it. And then the fact that they can see you on video as well as hear you in a podcast, it's just double the fun.
Right. In fact, as we start, these are the 5 most common content types. And I say common, they usually have a lot of content, videos, social media posts, blogs, and podcast episodes. And here, I'll tell you, I'm actually talking about the audio version of the podcast, not video podcast yet. Well, with videos, and here we're talking about YouTube videos, video podcasts, trainings, webinars. The best thing about these is all you have to do is transcribe them. And once they're transcribed, you may remember really good points in the video, right? So you can go to that timestamp, you can go back to the video, you can chop out the video section, or you can take it as a transcription and use it as a post, put an image with it, and across all the social media platforms and all of the other platforms as well. You could get out of videos, because there's just so much content, you could get up to 3 weeks of scheduled content from just one video.
That is amazing.
I'm telling you, I get amazed myself. So the second one is social media posts. Now, with social media posts, the great news is that you can simply change the title of the post, the image of the post, the hashtags of the post, and put it out again across all of the platforms. Or, I am a member of a lot of Facebook groups, so I can put the same post out on the Facebook groups because it's not going to my feed, right? And that's a totally different select body of people to see that.
Yeah, a friend of mine in one of the groups that I'm in, he teaches people to write a one long form post or a social media platform, and then take little bits of it during the week and put it out there, put it in groups, use it in all different places.
That is true. And I know you and I both know of another person. I mean, she's not the only one that does that, but people have posts every day of like every Tuesday or every Wednesday, and they'll do a video post. You can actually take those and string them together. You can turn them into reels. So there's so much you can do. Social media posts is not like, what do I do with it? Now, live streams or events, they're ending up being videos, but the difference with live streams and events is that you've probably had a panel discussion at some point for the event. You've had multiple Q&A sessions if it's multiple days long. You're bringing the questions that were asked in the event to your posts. And again, you can stream a whole subject on the questions that people ask or the panel points that bring up. It's really great in a live event to have other experts there in a panel discussion.
Yeah, and you can kind of tease people like, oh, you won't believe what so-and-so said about this.
That's exactly right. That's exactly right. You can use a hook for that, right?
Yeah.
Take some of those great posts that you want to bring out again, or that you got a lot of good reaction to before, and you use it as a script and make a video. Say the most important things out of the article that you wrote that you want to bring to light again. So that's good. I'm talking about audio only podcast episodes, which podcasts have been around forever. But that means that all the folks who started with podcasts, everybody that has any kind of a podcast has it in audio form, but not video. So you can switch up your regular podcast to include video. All of your podcasts have great jewels out of them that you can take out. You can make separate posts on them. You can put them in LinkedIn. It depends on what your market is, of course. If you've had guests that really speak to your market and you like, oh, I really liked when Mary or Harry brought out this really good point because this point is important to my market. Now, if you decide to switch up and now do video podcasts, you don't have to do anything different for your podcast platform at all, because you're going to strip the audio. It's just like the audio before, and you're going to go ahead and put it on the podcast platform. But now you have the videos. So you've just multiplied at least by 2 the amount of content that one podcast episode is going to give you.
What I love is you can do so many really cool animated things in Canva. So what we don't realize is social media wants video, right? But it doesn't always have to be like a talking head video. You can actually go into Canva, pull up some cool graphics, and then just pull a piece of audio and make this really interesting social media post from just a piece of audio where you kind of paired it with an interesting graphic. And now you've got a fantastic post that can be used on any social platform. It can be stories or reels. So you do have so many options, even with just audio.
I am telling you, this is magic to be able to transcribe your videos or anything that you've ever done in video, even if it was a recording of like a teleconference that you did a training on. Again, you can change up the images, you can change up the hashtags, you can change up the title. So it's really valuable to be able to repurpose your social posts on other social platforms. And again, the live stream and the events, I love that.
Yeah.
Because you're going to get, you yourself, in addition to your market, is going to get so much rich value from the FAQs and that get recorded, especially when they're virtual. And again, your blog posts, you have tons of talking points that are in all your articles and all of your blog posts. And lastly, the library of podcast episodes that you probably have if you started podcasts a while ago, they are a treasure trove of bringing things up again and now doing them in video.
I love this.
So I end here on another slide that this is a long list here of the benefits of repurposing content. And you see, I have here 2 things in caps. It boosts your SEO. That's for you, for your business. And you get a better ROI of your time that you took to begin with to create the original content.
Yeah, I love this because, again, saving time. So I love the fact that we can create one awesome video for YouTube each week, make sure we're using all of our keywords so it's SEO rich, and then have our virtual assistant repurpose it on all of our social platforms. Set it up as a blog, send it out as an email. But I think sometimes, even with all of that, there's still more opportunities to use our content. I know, Emily, you've been encouraging us for a while to turn it into a podcast. So we might heed your advice here sooner rather than later. But yeah, I love the fact that it extends the life of your content. I think that's fantastic because if you do a small post from a podcast or something, it can get people to actually go listen to the full podcast.
That's right.
Go watch the full video. So those little teaser pieces that you're pulling, really, like you said, it helps you get better ROI on your long form content too, which is perfect. I love the fact that it expands your reach because, again, if you are just posting your video to YouTube, then you're just on one platform. But when you're repurposing it, it gives you the opportunity to show up on all of the platforms, right? They may not find you on YouTube, but they may find you on TikTok, or they might find you on Instagram or LinkedIn. And then that's how you bring them into your world. And that's how they get to know you and decide if they want to work with you.
Right. Now, I do get asked this particular question. what platform do I start with? Well, if it's which content do I start with, I would absolutely start with anything that you consider long form content. First platform that you should start with is the one that you currently are most comfortable with, because go through the motion of repurposing that video interview that you did, or the video interview that you were on, or if you get the opportunity to be interviewed or be a guest on someone's show.
Yeah. You know us, we're huge fans of YouTube, and that's where we have all of our clients start, just because YouTube is a search engine. And I feel like for so many people, learning about keywords, it helps them also have better keywords on their website. But I feel like we all need to do video, right? Every single platform wants video now. So I feel like if you start with YouTube, because it tends to be long form, then you have all of that short form video content for all of your other platforms.
Perfect.
So obviously in your long form content, you have opportunities to have several call to actions. On YouTube, it's subscribe and ring the bell. Maybe leave me a comment below and let me know XYZ, or sign up for my free lead magnet, whatever that may be. Mm-hmm. So we know that there's lots of call to actions in long form content, but you can also create call to actions for all of the short content that you're doing, all the Facebook posts and Instagram posts and things like that.
Right. Believe it or not, if you are giving content that people are consuming by themselves and you're teaching along the way, you can go check out this something. You can put the call to actions as part of the content, hyperlink them, things like that in a blog post. In the short ones, it can be anything. Like you said, it can be a lead magnet, or it can be test out if you're doing our challenges right for you, or something like that, and give people something to do, and then tell them to come back and comment, share their experiences.
Absolutely. And I think the other thing that's really important is to think about making sure that the call to action is in line with the content.
Oh, yes.
So for example, if we're talking about like from leads to sales CRM software, it's not likely that our call to action would be sign up for the double your income with a marketing virtual assistant lead magnet, right? Because it would make sense. But if our video or our content is about hiring a marketing virtual assistant, then the double your income with a marketing VA makes sense. What I love about YouTube is the fact that you have playlist. And so if you think about your playlist on YouTube, most videos that go into that playlist can have the same call to action for the same lead magnet. So when you think about playlist, think about the lead magnet that would go with that. That makes it easier, I think, to kind of categorize your content.
Yeah. Here, I'll stop sharing here so we can be full screen.
Yeah. And you're watching the replay, just put #replay and we'll make sure that we pop back in and answer any questions that you have.
Yeah. So Emily, what got you excited about doing webinar and video podcast production? Like, what was the story behind that? Because you serve a lot of clients who want full service, and you guys do everything for them. So what is that like? What kind of started that business for you?
Well, honestly, I come from a programmer analyst background. And when my husband decided to become a real estate investor, we started ourselves to be promoters back in 2001. And so that at that point, it was just teleconferences. And I really liked that. I have to admit, I love the sidelines of being in sales, where I wasn't really the one putting myself on the line, so to speak. Right. But as time went on, in 2006, when my granddaughter was born, I turned the whole business over to my daughter so she could do it all from home. And I went back to working with my husband. And then I came back because I really missed it. Oh. I really like working with people in all different businesses and hearing how they promote their products and the different products and watching successes. I mean, we have done in the old days before COVID and things like that, when people did very large launches, we were a very large team that did 50 webinars at one time. And so I'm kind of glad that we don't do those big things anymore, because it's definitely, you're definitely worn out for a few days after that. But no, I love doing video podcasts because the opportunity to hear different industries especially in fact, all the ones that I do, all of our clients do interview.
Okay.
They don't do video podcasts. And the amount of knowledge from hearing one-on-one interviews is just fascinating.
That's really cool.
I love it. I love it. And I love taking people from the point where they're going.
So I know webinars are really important even now, especially if you're trying to build your audience with your email list or get people to book sales calls with you. So for someone who wanted to book an evergreen webinar, they don't have all the bits and pieces to do that. That's something that you can do for them.
That is true. I have a quick start guide and the whole thing about repurposing. So if people want to, however you want me to get hold of them to get hold of me,
we can pop the link for it in the comments.
Okay,
Yep.
that would be great. And then I'll come back around and put it in there for sure. Now, I do have some questions that sometimes people ask. If you'd like, I have my own set of FAQs. Well, a lot of times people go, well, if I want to start a video podcast, do I need a studio? And the answer is no, you don't need a studio. You just need a place. If you're home, a lot of us are still wonderfully working from home, or your office, that you can set up a camera, a small camera. You should see what I have right here now. I have a camera sitting behind the monitor. I have a ring light. I have a good mic. And no, this mic was about $100. So you don't have to spend much money. I have a small mic over here. I've done a couple videos just on recording, just on your sound and showing different mics. So that's one question. The other thing is, well, what if I'm not really comfortable being on camera, right? Well, there was a time that I wasn't comfortable being on camera and I was actually, producing video podcasts. So it just takes time doing it. That's all. Just get used to doing it. And I will say this, like Kirsten and Jeannie said, once you have the opportunity to work with someone else, I call myself the magic person behind the curtain because you don't see me ever. Once you have the opportunity to do that, you won't want to go back to doing it by yourself.
Right.
At all.
Yeah. Definitely. I 100% agree with that. It's the support, right? It's like not talking to yourself. You have someone else that's coaching you and helping you. And first of all, no one rolls out of bed and thinks, oh, I'm gonna get up and gonna be on camera today. It's gonna be amazing. I think everyone has a hard time getting and staying on camera. But having that support of having someone like you to talk them through it and for them to know that their mistakes and all the ums that they say can be edited out.
Yes,
so all that
exactly.
to be taken care of. Yes. And so, if you guys have any questions at all, we will have a link to Emily's guide for you in the comments. And you can also, she's in the Facebook group, so you can just tag her in there if you want to connect with her or DM her. She'd be happy to hear from you that way.
If you're looking to do video podcasts, Emily is your go-to. So thank you, everyone, and we'll see y'all next week. Bye.
Bye.